Well, welcome back, and now we're going to do a question involving angles of elevation instead of angles of depression. Now, I've written up an example of a question up on the board, and it goes like this. From a point A, level with the foot of a vertical pole, and 25 meters from it, the angle of elevation of the top of the pole is 40 degrees. So in other words, what we've got here is point A, which is 25 meters from a pole. Let's call the pole that's the pole here. Let's call that point P. Let's call this point Q, right? The angle of elevation of the top of the pole is 40 degrees. So that's 40 degrees. And it says find the height of the pole. So let's do part one. The height of the pole is basically PQ. To find PQ, right, you've got this side, which is the opposite side. This side, which is the opposite side. This side is the adjacent side. Yep. And this side is the hypotenuse. So you've got opposite over adjacent, which is tan of 40 degrees, equals to, right, what is it? X over 25, right? So X itself is going to be 25 tan 40 degrees. Now if we put that in our calculator, 20.977 meters up the wall, and this is to 3 decimal places. Now usually you'd probably round it up to 21.0 or whatever, but I've done it to 3 decimal places, the question doesn't specify how many decimal places to put it to, so I've just put it to 3, and then in the box next to it I've written 3dp, just to be a little bit more specific, and examiners love that. Okay, so that's that one. Now question 2 says find the angle of elevation from A of a point halfway up the pole. So a point halfway up the pole would be here, right? And that height would be this height divided by 2, right? Which is 10.489 in this case, meters up the wall. So we want the new angle here, okay? So for part 2, theta is given by tan theta equaling 10.489 over 25, alright? So it's a new triangle altogether, so it'll be a different angle theta. Now, you would expect it to be roughly half, but would you expect it to be exactly half? Well, let's see. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. So theta is equal to inverse tan of 10.489 all over 25. Now, in my calculator though, I am not going to use this value. I'm going to use half of this value. Okay? So, of 22 degrees, 46 minutes, right? So it's slightly bigger than half the angle, okay? Even though this is half the height, it's not half the angle, okay? So just be aware of that. And actually, you might want to go away and figure out why that might be the case. But that is the answer for part 2, which is the angle of elevation halfway up the pole. So the answer is 22 degrees 46 minutes, and the answer to part 1 was 20.977 meters to the 3rd decimal place. Alright, so now with this one here, I also should say it's to the nearest minute. But now you know how to do questions involving elevation and depression. Okay, so knock yourself out, do as many questions as you can to get familiar with these sort of questions, and I'll see you on the next episode.